Time is 11:26. The Atoka Lake Reservation Association meeting I call to order. And before we get started today, we have an item for recognition for Mr. Allen. And so, Mr. Allen, if you would meet me down at the podium as I've been instructed, we'll have a little presentation for you, sir. There is no trap door next to the podium. You don't have to worry about it.
Whereas the Lake Atoka Reservation Association, LARA, was originally established in 1974 by an interlocal agreement among the cities of Atoka and Oklahoma City and the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust to maintain and operate recreational concessions and other facilities, make improvements, grant permits and licenses for recreational and sporting activities, and preserve public safety in and around the Lake Atoka Reservation. And whereas Donnie Allen was promoted to Atoka City Manager on January 6, 2014, and whereas Donnie has served as a LARA board member since March 27, 2014, and whereas during Donnie's term he supported numerous reservation improvement projects, and whereas Donnie forged positive partnerships with the City of Oklahoma City and the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust supporting improvements benefiting the citizens of Atoka, Oklahoma City, and the surrounding regions, and whereas Donnie has fulfilled his duties as a board member of LARA with loyalty, professionalism, and dedication. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the board members of the Lake Atoka Reservation Association that they do gratefully recognize and commend Donnie Allen for his leadership, dedication, direction, and guidance. Be it further resolved that this resolution be entered into the minutes of the March 14, 2019 meeting of the Lake Atoka Reservation Association, and that this resolution be presented to Donnie Allen in appreciation for his dedicated service and as a permanent record of his contributions to the Lake Atoka Reservation Association.
Mr. Allen, it's been a privilege and an honor to work alongside you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you for allowing us that time to move on that item. It's enjoyed working with this gentleman. Item number 3, approved minutes of the September 20th, 2018 Lake Atoka Reservation Association meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Item number 4, items for individual consideration. A, resolution, resolution of the Atoka Lake Reservation Association recommending the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust receive and approve the Atoka Lake Reservation Association's fiscal year budget 2020.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item B, receive financial statement and report of independent audits for the fiscal year of June 30th, 2018. Thank you.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Item 5, items for board members. Any board members have anything?
I'll just say thanks to Donnie for everything you've done for the city. You know, your resolution said partnerships, but it's truly been a friendship. And the little time I've been on here is definitely clear that you're a friend to us, you're a friend to many. So we want to thank you for your long relationship and friendship you've had with the city of Oklahoma City.
It's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
All right. It's time, item 6, items from the city of Atoka. A, Atoka Lake Patrol and Activity as provided by the Chief. Chief?
Y'all have anything new to add to the report other than if the board has any questions?
questions for Chief Dotson? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to accept the report?
Motion to receive.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item 7, General Manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I get started with my report, Donnie, it's been a pleasure. We've been working together for a short period of time, but we've actually accomplished a couple of things. We got the lake delineated. We're designing the fire breaks. We have some improvement projects going on down there, and I think it's your help that made those projects possible, and also your guidance through the process has made kind of a smooth transition into working down in Atoka. It's hard to manage projects 100 miles away, but anytime we needed any help, you were always there. And so I'm grateful for all of your help and look forward to a continued relationship with you, even though you're retiring from the city. We will definitely stay in touch, and again, we appreciate everything that you've helped us with before me and during my tenure here. So thank you very much. First item is the lake level pumpage report. Dustin Seagraves.
Over here, Chris.
There you are.
Chairman and trustees, kind of like McGee Creek, it has been a wet season down there in Atoka. And last March, as I was pumping 80 million gallons a day, trying to lower the lake level in anticipation of the Spillway projects, we will have the opportunity to catch as much water as we could. However, the rains came, and I had to decrease that pumpage. And as Mr. Browning said, that Draper is actually above capacity right now, so I actually had to lower the pumping again. And if the rains continue to come, then there's a possibility that I may have to shut off the pump station again, just because I have nowhere to put it, which is unfortunate, but it's kind of a double-edged sword, because we like our lakes full, but we also like to have the opportunity to have the volume of water to be able to do it. With that, I've asked any questions that you may have. It is not, off and on it is. However, the contractor, they have built a dam and a spillway, so to be able to keep the lake level at 585, which is 5 feet below normal capacity. So right now, the lake level in February, it was at 588. So anything over 585 is actually going over the spillway, and we're not able to capture that water.
Mr. Chairman, next item, we're going to give you all a presentation on the status of the Spillway project. Adam Mishler with our engineering division is here to present.
Thank you, sir. Actually give an update on both the Spillway and the pipeline projects, if that's okay. So first we'll start with the Spillway. I think we're all aware of where the reservoir is. Spillway is located at the south end of the reservoir here. The original Atoka Dam is an earthen dam constructed in 1958. The top elevation of the dam itself is 600 feet, and the elevation of the spillway is set at 590. After the construction, the spillway will remain at 580 or at 590. This is a picture from our March construction progress update. Along the left side of the picture, you can see the work on the new excavation of the wall out here, and where they are installing the post-tension anchors and all of the excavation to increase the width of the chute. Here you can see they have started to remove the temporary berm in front of the emergency spillway that was lowered to 585, as Mr. Seagraves had commented on, and we have water being released down and through the current chute. We had to do that as we were doing construction down at the south end of the project in the Stilling Basin, and I have a picture of that coming up to show you here. we put in that temporary berm so that we could dewater the stilling basin down here. Then what was completed was we put in a concrete mud mat, it is called, to raise the elevation down to the bottom of the floor foundation before we poured that. After the mud mat was installed, we put in the sheet piles and earthen berm along here to separate our Phase 1 construction area from our Phase 2 construction area, and we'll be allowed to let that water release through the existing chute and on past our construction site. As we've talked about, this is the current elevations of some of the water in Lake Atoka. February 19th is whenever we actually started to remove that temporary berm in front of the spillway, and you can tell we've had some rains, and so we've been having difficulty of getting it back down to our actual construction elevation of 585. Here are some more pictures of the work along the outside of the chute for the Phase 1 construction wall. This is from the south end. They've actually started pouring more of the mud slab on the outside for the Phase 1 construction of the chute flooring out here. Here's a closer detail of the actual post-tension anchors as they are being installed along the chute wall. They excavate typically 5 to 8 feet, and then they are pouring a formed concrete, what we call a thrust block, and then anchoring the post-tension anchors through that and installing these whaler system to tie all of the anchors together. Then in between the rows of anchors, we are just excavating, and then they're using a shotcrete system to encase the rock wall behind the wall itself. Next, we'll talk about the Atoka Pipeline updates. This is a description of the Atoka Pipeline and the design engineering firms that we have separated the projects up into. Currently, we have project WC 0875 with Triad, the Canadian River Crossing project, underway, as well as projects 871 and 872 by Cabinet and CP&Y, respectively, down here at the south end of our project scope. In January 2015, the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust approved the pipe procurement agreement. That agreement was made with Thompson Pipe Group Pressure Incorporated. The estimated cost for that is just over $152 million. Right now, with the 3 projects that we have underway, like I said, WC 875, the Canadian River Crossing, was advertised January 29th of this year. Currently, we are going through the contractor pre-qualifications, and we are expecting to close bids in mid-April on that project. The other 2 projects, 871 from Atoka to the Colgate pump station, and 872, the Colgate to Stonewall pump station sections, we have those design engineers moving on to the bidding documents, preparing the bidding documents, and we'll be ready to release those once we complete the permitting requirements. That's all I have. If you have any questions.
It's very wet, and I'm amazed they've been able to accomplish what they've accomplished to this point with the volume of water that we've had in our end of the state. It's just been amazing, but it's going to be exciting when that project's finished and really bring a fresh new look to that area out there. It's going to be a great advancement to the lake. Is there any other questions at this time? Comments?
Quick question. So what are the next steps to try to get it to that 585 level?
Really, the only things that we can do to lower the lake level is either through pumping through the pump station, or as we showed, whenever we get to a more reasonable level, we'll be able to expand some of the berm, take a little bit more of the berm out. Right now, we are controlling that so that we can keep our downstream road access that we have going across the stream available. If we were to take out the entire berm, that much water would overpass our access, and then we would be not able to work either. So really, those are the only two things that we can do right now with the water.
Thanks, appreciate that. And another question, I'm not sure who anyone can answer this one, and just want to be clear, so when did the City Council approve the pipeline? City Council has approved it?
City Council has concurred
Concurred.
on the purchase of the pipe. We have not submitted a recommended contractor for any of the project as of this date. We expect to recommend to the trust the river crossing contractor in April, and then that will subsequently go to City Council for concurrence.
Thank you. And what's the timeline on that?
The award of the contract or the project?
The award of the contract.
We should have it done in April.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, there's one more item that's not on the agenda, but I'd like to go ahead and bring it up. We have a project at Lake Atoka to install a courtesy dock and extend the boat ramp. We received bids. Those bids came in double what our engineer's estimate was, so we rejected those bids at the trust meeting this week, and we are taking a different route to see if we can get that project built sooner than later. So I just wanted to give you all an update that the trust did reject the bids on Tuesday. That's all I have.
I can definitely understand when it's doubled what the estimated budget was going to be. Well, hopefully we can get that moving forward at some point in the very near future while all the other work's being progressed at the lake.
Our goal is to get the work completed about the same time the spillway is completed so that we can raise the lake up and it'll be fully functional and we won't have to drop it back down again for the boat ramp construction.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. At this time, do I hear a motion to accept the General Manager's reports? All those in favor? Aye. Moving on, at this time is opportunity for citizens to be heard. Is there anyone that would like to address the board? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn? Motion and second. All those in favor? Aye. I didn't think anybody would oppose that one. Thank you all for coming.